plug the charger in for the GoPro because this thing's dying. Grab my phone. Yep, we're doing this today. It's about time I got started on this thing. I'll probably do the clutch in the side first. I'm pretty sure I got the gasket for the outside, so we'll have to clean all that orange gasket maker off, but here's the car. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get the quad facing this way so I can use the light over there. I'm not gonna try and move the car, but I'll move some of this stuff, and so hopefully we'll have it running by either tonight or who knows, but we're gonna get started on it. So I'm gonna get this thing in the position and let's get going. Got the quad in the position. Got chairs on both sides to work on it. It already rained, but it seems like it's about to pour again. Like it's sunny, and then you look over there and it's just like, huh, get ready to get wrecked. But alright, let's do the clutch first. If I can squeeze in here. Alright. How to do the top end on the 300EX. So, first we're going to do the clutch. And the clutch is really simple. Just pull off these 4 bolts right here. It says 6. Highly doubt it's a 6. Look, here's the 6. Look, that's not a 6. It's a 10. Now I'm going to have to go grab, unless the 3/8. Okay. There we go. I'm using regular socket with the circular Craftsman wrench. Sorry about that. Alright, so next, you're going to make sure it's on loosen. And you're going to want to break these. Now the issue is this whole thing is going to turn. So you want to put something somewhere to stop it from moving. I usually stick something in the gears right here, like the end of a toothpick or like the end of this cardboard right here. I'm going to find something to stick in there and I'll get right back to you. Alright, so I have the piece from the gasket. I didn't throw off the gasket, don't worry. I'm just going to fold it again. And I don't know if you can see because I could barely see, but you're just going to jam it up into the gearing. And there we go. You can turn it and it'll lock there. So now when you grab your wrench, the bolt should just come right undone. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, there we go. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. I can tell these all weren't torqued down to the same specifications because I can feel it. Some were easier than the others. So go ahead and remove all 4 of these bolts. Okay, now once you're done, see I have all the bolts removed except for this one. I'm going to remove this one. There we go. Remove the bolt, put the bolt somewhere safe. And you're still going to need this piece. Make sure that bearing doesn't fall out. I'm just going to set it face down right there. Go ahead and take these springs out. Oh, okay. You aren't going to need these springs unless you didn't get springs with your clutch. I'm going to keep these to the side just in case, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to need those again. Next, you want to, yeah, sorry about that. Next, you're going to want to remove this bolt right here, and be careful when removing this one because I think it's connected to the entire shaft throughout the whole engine. So just be careful of that, but you're going to want to go ahead and remove that bolt next. I hate to say it, but the only thing that would fit my 27 was this impact gun. So just stick the impact gun on and it'll come right off. You just can, I guess you got to twist this whole thing. No, I think this is twisting the inside. Alright, just get the bolt off. Huh, I was right. You do remove that bolt and the cover just slides off. Careful. There's a washer right beneath the bolt. But next you want to do is slide out these rings. But slide them all out at the same time. Get every single one of them out. Because you want to remember the order that they're in. See? They're going to stay in order on my arm. What? Okay. There we go. Yeah, looks good. So, this is the order you're going to do it in. It's going to be, this is the back, that's the front. It's going to start with a friction plate, and then a spacer, friction plate, spacer. So basically you're starting with the friction plate, ending with the friction plate. I will set these down here just to keep as like a note of reference. Meanwhile, just go ahead and take your finger around there, get any like old clutch that's in there. Go ahead and wipe off the rest of this, like the edge of it. See, it's all nasty. But go ahead, just put it back in there when you're done. Make sure it's all the way on the back. And then go ahead and open up your new clutch. So once you absolutely tear open the box, you'll have your friction plates. As you can see, look at the difference between these. See this material that used to be made out of asbestos, believe it or not, back then. Look at that. There's nothing on there. Look at the difference. Then you wonder why your clutches don't work. They also gave me new spacers. Some of them don't give you new spacers. Some of the cheaper ones. You also get a sticker. Go ahead, slap that on your four-wheeler so you can sticker bomb the crap out of your four-wheeler. Because race car, right? No, I mean race four-wheeler, right? Yeah, alright. So next, remember the pattern from the old spacers. Friction plate, spacer. I'm going to bust out the spacers, and then friction plate, spacer, you should end up with a spacer. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. There we go, see? Now I ended up with a, okay, I can't even put this friction plate on. Ended up with the friction plate. There we go. The last friction plate's on there. Go ahead, stick your hub assembly back on. Grab the nut and washer. Sometimes it's going to take some wiggling to get in there. It's like a clock, and just wait till you get all the way in the back. Springs freely with the nut in the back. I'm sorry. Ooh. Go ahead, stick your washer on there. Stick your bolt back on, or nut. I get those two confused, I'm sorry. And then go ahead and just tighten that up. I don't know the foot pound inspection, so I'm just gonna, just go ahead and tighten that on there until it's not gonna move. So yeah, and then you're pretty good to go. Tusk was also nice enough to send me some springs for free on the side. So go ahead and open your pack and then go ahead and stick them on these things right here. And once you're done putting the springs on, go ahead and grab your plate with the ball bearing. Insert one or two of the screws, doesn't matter. Just slide it in and then tighten it just a little bit. And then go ahead and grab another one. Do the other side. Tighten it a little bit. Just to make sure they're all in the same hole. Or not in the same hole, but all in the right hole. See? And then once you got this done, go ahead and tighten them down. Once again, do not know the foot pound spec. I don't know. Just tighten them down, alright? Alright, and last but not least, once you get all that tightened, this should not move anymore. This shouldn't spin freely with the gears back here. It should move as one whole. Okay, what happened here? Careful of moving it too much, or else you might get the chain stuck. But yeah, so then just clean off all the old gasket, like all this crap, and go ahead and get your new gasket out and put your case back on. And I'm gonna do that real fast, and as soon as I'm done, I'll get right back to you guys. Alright, once I got all this on there, I still gotta put the oil filter and cap on there, but I'll do that later. That'll be like one of the last things I do, because I gotta clean out that oil filter. Take your jug. Oh dear. This one's honed to fit this high compression piston. And grab your piston kit. You're gonna grab the seal and go ahead, okay, don't fall. Go ahead, lay the seal down on there. And my word, keeps falling. Go ahead, lay the seal down on this thing, and we're gonna get ready to put the piston on. For any of you wondering what gasket you want to get this one, and it's just gonna go. Flip it over. Gotta take off the top bolts first, but it's just gonna slide down on there. After you have your gasket on there, and make sure you have your pinion pins, or whatever they're called, inside their sockets. Go ahead, grab your piston. This is a Wiseco high compression piston. See how the dome comes up like that? Almost dropped it. So yeah, you're gonna want to fit this with the rings and everything, and then get ready to install it with all your things you need. So go ahead and grab our rings right here. And if you need a guide on which ring goes, go ahead and grab your old piston. This is my old one. It completely wrecked the inside of my engine. This one has a little bit less of a dome top than that, so yeah, it's gonna increase the compression a little bit. But here's the rings. You're gonna want to do the 2 small ones in that copper coil. That's the first one you want to do. 2 smalls in copper coil. See, the first very small ring is in there. Go ahead and grab your copper coil next. And go ahead and place that right on top. Go ahead and grab your last ring, the last small one, and place that on top of the copper oil expander. Alright, once you have all your rings on, they're gonna slide around and they're gonna like go way over like the edge, but that's fine because when you put it in, you're supposed to like press it to the side, compress them, and shove it in. It's such a pain, honestly. I hate it so much, but yeah, now we're gonna install this onto our crankshaft. So wherever I put the box, oh, right here. Go ahead and grab just grab everything out of here. These you aren't gonna need yet. Go ahead and grab your pins and your oh, I forget what this thing's called, but just go ahead and slide the piston over top. Instructions: run this through and then put the pins on each side. Also, just to let you guys know, this little arrow right here, I don't know if you can see that, points the direction of where the exhaust is going, so it's gonna install with the arrow facing the front of the quad. Alright, that was the most like biggest pain in the world to get that thing installed. But once you're done, go ahead and move the piston, whoops, careful the gasket, move the piston as much up as you can, and we're going to start sliding the cylinder down on. It'd be nice to lube the edges with oil, and also the edges inside the cylinder, just so the piston fits in more smoothly. Sorry I couldn't record the filming of putting this jug on, but you want to make sure that your chain is through the jug and it can't fall back in. Also, your chain guard is also through the jug. You also want to make sure the piston goes in smoothly and all the rings have made it through. Put your 2 bolts down on the side, and I'm pretty sure there's no other ones. So next, what you're gonna want to do is grab the head. We're gonna stick the head on and tighten the head bolts down, which are these 2, right here. These are the head bolts, so we're gonna go ahead and do that next. Also, don't forget to install your gasket, and I don't think there's anything else you're gonna need. I haven't come across anything. See, like, I have no idea what this thing's for. This is copper. So I have my sort of new head gasket here. It's rusty a little bit, but it works. All the valves seat perfectly. I cleaned this side, so yeah. And I clean the edge. You don't have to worry about around here unless you're like a clean freak like that, but you want the mating surface of this to be really clean, which I got that really clean. And then I just cleaned up in here a little bit. And also on your old head gasket, or head, not gasket, you'll find this little pin. Yeah, you want to make sure that's in there on this slot right here. It's not, no, yeah, it is that slot. Excuse me. And then go ahead and insert the head on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna insert it onto the jug. Once you have your the head on, I'm gonna get your 2 head bolts and go ahead and put those in there. See, here's this one. See, those look like, and they just go right into there. Those screw in, and then grab your four head nuts and go ahead and place those on and tighten those down to your Torx pad. After you got all those tightened, you can go over to wherever you have all your crap at and grab your camshaft. Why can I not forget what this thing was called? And to put this on, it's pretty simple. If I could turn here. Alright. You have 2 marks here. Actually, there's a mark up here that's in, out, and then those 2. Those don't really matter. You just want to set the cam in place, and you're going to put the chain over it. I'm going to do that because it requires 2 hands, but make sure your chain is over top of this cam. So after you get all of that on, It's like way later at night because I had to go out and do something, but you're gonna put your cam on and put the timing chain on, and then you're gonna set your timing. You guys are gonna have to look up how to do that because it's really confusing and I don't feel like explaining it. So after you set the timing, go to the next part of the video. After you're done with that, I got the timing all set and everything. Go ahead and put in your chain tensioner. This light is cancer, but I have it right here. Yeah, go ahead and insert that. Oh, don't forget the gasket that you get in the kit. I think mine's in there, but yeah, don't forget that gasket. Alright, after you're done, dude, I'm so tired, honestly, of putting all this together. I got the the chain tensioner in. This like is not moving anywhere. Go ahead and give it a few cranks on the crankshaft just to make sure that it get this stuff out of my seat so I don't sit on it. Just to make sure that it turns over correctly. So you can see the camshaft move. So it moves pretty good to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the caps back on. Like here's one cap. And then you're gonna wanna grab your valve cover, and that's what's gonna go on next. That's gonna go on top. So we're gonna go ahead and put the valve cover on, and alright, so now you're gonna set the valve cover on. I don't have it on all the way because I have this cover right here that goes, doesn't go down there. This valve cover sits right here in front of the cam. It's not even well, it could be like kind of a valve cover in a way, but that's what I'm calling it. And then this whole thing should just sit right on top of this whole thing. Like it should just scoot on down. Yeah, this is gonna be confusing, but go ahead, just screw it on down, and you're gonna put on the bolts on the side. Alright.
It rolls away. Like I just sit and then it's just like.
Alright, so go ahead and stick your oil filter and oil cap back on and replace all the oil lines you had running, and you should be good. And you still have the carburetor. I have no clue where that is, but put that back on, put your exhaust back on, and it should start up. So I'm gonna put everything back together and I'll show you guys the first startup of it, if it even started. There we go, it's all done like 4 days later, but I did the timing completely wrong. Like it doesn't even yeah, see, like it barely even works without the timing done. So I'm gonna take it to a shop and get that done. But there we go. Voila.